All right, what's up, everybody? Double something here. We got Bub, JP, and Cook here. We're doing a tier list now that we have 2 seasons of Double Something regular show parody under our belt. We want to rank personally all of our episodes that we've done so far. It was kind of interesting to see how far we've grown since season 1 of regular show parody to where we are now, in which we call the Attitude Era.
Yes.
So
attitude.
How we're gonna do this is that we're gonna sort each season into a different tier list, and I'll put a visual up as we're talking over the video. So we're gonna start at the bottom.
Season 1
of season 1. Start with season 1.
All 13.
All 13 episodes from F to S tier. And we're gonna start with what we consider, personally, the only video as an F tier. Skipsenberg. So
basically what happens is the park, they're having financial troubles, and Benson decides that the only way to get the park back to normal is to start selling drugs.
Yeah.
So they bring Skips in, and they're like, we gotta start selling drugs.
Yeah.
And then they go
sell
with this rival park, and then there's like a couple Breaking Bad references. The whole thing is a Breaking Bad. Yeah. And then Pops blows up, and the whole thing was a dream. Thank God it was a dream.
I just think it's funny that
it was awful.
A video that we think might be not our, well, no, I think personally right now it's our worst one, but it was literally just a dream. So technically, our only F tier is not canon if you think about it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
the whole parody was botched from day one.
What we've learned is this was during like a scenario where we were all like, some of us were in school and so we couldn't really meet up, and obviously COVID was kind of an issue, but like it was just kind of awkward, so we had to record it over, like we'd send the voice lines to each other, and all our voices sounded weird, and they were all in different locations, and it just made it so bad. Like in all aspects, it was just a bad video, and the pacing was really bad.
It jumped. Like, first, it starts okay. Like, everyone's, like, we're all depressed.
Yeah, everyone sounds so depressed.
Yeah. But then when they get to the part where Pops, where he blows up, and then he's, like, ringing the thing.
Yeah.
Like that one scene.
It's just, like, that was probably the one redeeming part, was Pops literally exploding. Yeah. So, enough of that video. Let's move on. So, we have the D tier. So pretty much the level between D and F, there's a pretty big gap between F and D tier, but I still think D tier is some of our weaker parodies where there was only like one punchline, or not barely even a punchline, and then it just kind of, fell off. Also, let us know what you guys think in the comments, how you feel, if you agree with our statements, by the way. But anyway, so for D tier, we have Weezer with an H, which for some reason we thought, oh, well, I think they make references to Weezer in regular show, or close enough at least.
Hope you like Weezer.
And we're like, oh, it would be funny if they went to a Weezer concert and Carl Weezer was Weezer. It's funny because his has an H in it. It was just, it was
super forgettable and underwhelming.
It was very
weird. The Carl Weezer impression was nice, but like, it was just weird.
It was so weird.
It didn't it wasn't like impactful enough that it just didn't do anything.
It was all kind of just like, it was dedicated to one single joke,
and that joke we barely delivered on.
I think its reason for existing was, I think we wanted to try to figure out how to do other shows.
We were trying to sneak in other characters.
Yeah, because obviously regular shows are our most popular thing, but I think we tried to slip in a different show, and as you can tell, that didn't work. And then for the next one, we have Muscle Man Gets Wasted, which literally,
it's just a disgusting
it's just vile. Like, if there was an E, I would probably say this is just an E, because it's like, it's literally just Pops
Muscle Man,
and that's
Muscle Man has a party. Vile. He gets drunk, passes out, and for whatever reason, Pops was sucking him off.
At the same time, this is, again, classic season 1 double something, where it was just like, where did you guys come up with this shit?
I know, we were just trying to make the craziest thing possible.
Because this was right whenever we started popping off in the first front, and it was just kind of, where do we go from there?
I'd say it's definitely like your most plotless episode. Like,
it's
pretty much nothing happens.
Ridiculous.
So
it literally exists so that you could see Muscle Man and Pops. getting it on for like a brief
second. That was like, oh wow, like shock value. But I think since then we've done much worse things. But anyway, on to C tier. We have these parodies I don't think they're good, and I also don't think they're bad. They're the most like
they're very
level.
Neutral.
They're
very neutral to these parodies.
Also, I'm gonna say that at least 2 of these are kind of safe. So we're gonna go with the first one was Yee Yee Blondikai, which I think honestly, the Grand Theft Auto section of that video should have been its own thing. And the joke at the end with Muscle Man and his blonde boys.
That was funny.
That was the best part of this video and probably why it's in C tier. Mm-hmm. But that probably should have been reserved for a different, because it was so good to be in a video like that.
I think also we were expecting that to take off because that was like a thing at the time. That scene.
That was a meme. That was the other thing was this.
So we were like, oh, let's do it with Pops and Mordecai. And he talks about your yee ass haircut because he was blonde in the episode. That was the joke.
We all thought, well, Pop swearing would be funny, and obviously it is funny, but yeah, I think that was just something that it could have been done better. Next, we have Mitchzilla, which
I can't even remember what happens in Mitchzilla.
It is so. It was for Easter.
I do remember the
and it was to tie in with King Kong Godzilla. Yeah. We're like, oh, that's relevant right now. We have to do something about that.
I do remember it was like Pops had these like magical Easter eggs that like
Muscle Man ate them. He didn't know they were magical. He's like, oh, there's a contest with these magical eggs. Yeah. It was I genuinely think it was the first time that our parodies were like actually like regular show where it just goes off the rails. So this is the first time, but then the weird thing that happened was just Muscle Man and Skips making grunting sounds because I didn't want to make a fight out of it. So I was just like, well, it would be funny if they just grunted. And it was funny at first.
Yeah, it botched the hell out of that scene.
I think it was ironically funny in its own way.
Yeah, it still was kind of funny.
Yeah. Next, we have Muscle Man Stash.
Bub is not a fan of this.
I'm not the biggest fan of this.
I actually like this one. I think this
one's
pretty funny.
I love it.
I think the concept of it is pretty good.
Muscle Man is moving in with Starla, but he leaves his stash box unattended, which is basically it's got his tapings,
sexy tape, his sexy time,
and he doesn't want Starla to find it, but she finds it anyways. Plays the tape. No, he films them. The most bomb sex tape ever, and she doesn't know about it. And then she watches it, and then she's like, "Ooh, I like this," and then they just have sex on the floor. That was the parody.
That was it.
I actually think it's pretty funny.
I do too.
I think out of these 3, I think it's the higher one.
We've had funnier for sure, but that was also part of that early era where we were trying to make everything like over the top.
Sex stuff happens. Yeah. All right. Next, we have our only B for season 1. We have Starla's OnlyFans.
Was this the sequel to Margaret's OnlyFans? The first?
Yes, this is the first sequel. This is where I honestly think this is probably one of the most true sequels because it literally went right after the first one. Because they were obviously the OnlyFans video did extremely well, so we wanted to try it again. This was where Rigby was trying to say that Mordecai had Starla's OnlyFans and no one believed him, and then it turns out at the end that Rigby actually also had it.
Yeah, so
because so Starla's getting her way around, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that video is a really great sequel. There's nothing really wrong with it.
Yeah.
I think my only thing with it, like, I really love that video, but like, I feel like the whole thing with like the end, with Rigby having it the whole time, it almost makes his reaction to it, like to Mordecai having it, like, weird, because it's like he had it, so it's like, why was he acting like that was the weirdest thing in the world when like
I guess he was ashamed.
Yeah, I think Rigby saw an opportunity to ruin him, so Rigby being Rigby was just like, I'm just
because
gonna...
Rigby's a little shit. He's such a horrible character.
He's a dick. All right, next, the A tier. We have this is actually a fan favorite. I see this video, people wanting us to make a sequel to this video. I think more than any other than another OnlyFans, but Slack Ops. This is such a weird video because I think you guys don't know the process of making this video. Because what we had to do was we recorded 2 zombies matches I meshed them together to make it look like it was one. I think it was like 70 or 80% one and 20% the other. Mm-hmm. And then we put voice clips together to make it like this coherent thing, because it was like really weird. Because we had 4 people playing and 4 characters voicing, but only like, but 2 of them were the same person, because Jord was playing somebody but wasn't voicing anybody. So it was just so weird, but it honestly turned out better than we could have imagined.
For me and Bob especially, because we had 2 different, he was Rigby and Pops, I was Muscleman and Mordecai. We, for like 12 minutes straight, there was no script in this video.
No, it was literally unscripted. It was just like something would happen and it would be like, oh, they'd say this.
You have to react as the character. Like, and doing that for 20 minutes as Muscleman and Mordecai, like trying to spot when something worked. Like maybe he'd say this here. It turned out really well, but man, it was a bitch to make.
It was pretty difficult.
Like I've told you guys before, like it was really convincing. Like when I first saw it, I genuinely thought the whole thing was scripted.
Mm-hmm. Now there was. We literally went into it where we were literally just like, all right, just pretend you're the character, like, and we just played.
Now, next A tier we have Guys Night. This one, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I would like this one a little bit more than I should, just because I'm 5 years old and I think fart jokes are funny.
It's still,
this video is literally just Muscleman farting.
It's funny though.
It's so funny.
Yeah. It's just charming.
It kind of follows like a regular show thing though. Like he eats too many wings and then
he starts farting everywhere.
He just shits his pants. It was funny.
It was funny.
It's just funny. Like,
I think it's just a classic episode.
Yeah, it's not like.
It's simple in a good way. I guess. I mean, it's like it's not. I wouldn't even say it's like underwhelming. It's just it's simple, but like it's not. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, a goofball parody like that's every now and then. It's just
it's just
fun
good.
To watch.
It's good. All right, now we have the S tier. These are our personal favorites of season 1, and I think out of all of these, I think these hold up probably the most out of all of them. The other ones have issues, but I think honestly, there's other than one thing which we'll get to, that all of these are pretty much flawless. So first we have the original Double Something parody, Benson's Balls, where literally
TikTok.
Yep, where we started on TikTok.
The one that started it all.
Yep, the one that started it all. And Pops is gay. That's the punchline.
Mordecai and Rigby are like suspecting that Pops is weird.
Pops is hella sus.
He's acting strange.
He's acting like, sus.
Skips, what's going on? He went in the shed with Benson. And he's like, oh, he's not gay. And then they're like, oh, well, we better figure it out. And then they go to the shed.
And then everybody else is gay.
He's having a threesome with Pops and Muscleman. Like, it's ridiculous.
Literally, I don't know why, but gay Pops was kind of like an inspiration to why this channel started, because because his voice is just always like that. We're like, oh, what if he was gay?
It was the line where he's like, Benson, why do your balls hang so low?
Literally, that line is the reason why this channel exists right now, and the TikTok channel exists. It's kind of crazy to see that.
That is a very fun parody. I don't know why. There's something about it. Like, I don't know if it was just the first, but it just has this classic like aura to it. I don't know why, but I just love it.
When the hell did you guys come up with that scenario?
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. It was an inside joke, and then boom, there it is. So next we have The Verdict, which was the finale of season 1. This one's just kind of like a personal favorite of ours, because this was probably one of our most I'd say there's 3. I think this is one of the most ambitious ones, because it was animated. Like, most of it was animated, kind of, but it was, the judge and all the backgrounds and stuff. We tried to make it look as official as possible.
We also tried to set this up as like an ARG, because we made like fake court documents that said like, oh, you're getting sued, Double Something is getting sued.
And it was funny. I don't know if you guys were joking, but some people thought it was real, and
it was fun.
It was kind of cool.
It was really cool.
If they thought that, then you did a damn good job, I guess.
Yeah.
I actually really liked the idea of regular show. They find our channel, and then they're like, oh, these guys suck. We gotta sue them.
Yeah.
So then they sue us. We go to court. It's funny if you
watch
it.
It's a kind of a regular show kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even with the ending, and it just kind of went off the rails.
If you watch it, the regular show characters that accuse us, they accuse the dude that voices them.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. Like Rigby and Pops and Benson attack Bub specifically.
Yeah.
And then Muscleman and Mordecai attack me.
And Skips attacks Cities. Yeah.
So it was just cool, because it was like our character was attacking us, and then obviously it was, dude, I'll tell you what, it was a great way to transition to second season.
I think it just kind of showed like how we are evolving. Like I think it's like literally the middle ground between 1 and 2 because I genuinely think season 1, season 2 there's a big difference between how those kind of evolved. So all right, the next 2 we have Margaret's OnlyFans. Of course, the video that's probably why you're here is this video has like over 400,000 views, which is freaking crazy. Insane. I still can't believe that to this day that this video. We had it on our TikTok. It did really good on TikTok, and then our TikTok died. So we're like, well, we have this on YouTube with our gaming channel that had like, I don't know,
20 subscribers.
Subscribers, and then out of nowhere, YouTube algorithm said, I like these guys. Let's give them a platform.
That's the one.
As freaking crazy.
And
so
now here we are.
Obviously, with this one, Mordecai says he has Margaret's OnlyFans. Turns out he actually has Starla's OnlyFans, and Rigby sees something he probably didn't want to, and then ends up seeing it again later, which we will get to.
I also have to say, I think out of all of our parodies, I think this one is the best, like, regular show character.
Yeah,
like, all the characters
act like they're supposed. Yeah,
like,
I think
Mordecai's being a simp, Rigby's being like the little shit, Benson's angry, Pops and Muscle Man are just kind of like the comic relief.
Yeah,
it's really strong regular show.
I mentioned earlier how there's one issue. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if I say this, you guys are probably gonna notice it. There's like the video is very good, and then there's one breath.
Yes,
in the beginning of the video.
Whoa! Wait, what? Yeah, dude. I got her OnlyFans.
And I'm going to tell you right now, after me saying that, you're never going to unhear it again. So good luck if you ever go to watch.
It has ruined the video.
It has ruined it.
Because every time I hear it, I always hear that.
I don't know who that is, but I want to go back in time and like, I don't know, slap him in the face or something. Yeah.
Stop.
Just stop. All right, and then last for S tier. This is another one that I think to a T is the WAP video, which I'm sorry if we tricked you into thinking it was the song. But I just think Pops hearing about modern things that are just some things that people find absolutely abhorrent, that it would be hilarious for, Pops to react to something like that. Like that song is just that song is something else, and then him not understanding it is just classic Pops.
Yeah.
I like that we made our Pops more like that too, that he's super like innocent and like he doesn't understand anything.
Yeah.
And then he like if you say something, he's like, "Oh, do you mean it's this?" And it's like some childish thing. That's what that was born with the WAP video.
It's very in line with his character.
Yeah, everyone, like Rigby's the shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Muscle Man's the comic relief.
Who makes some very awful comments towards women, but that's funny.
Muscle Man.
Muscle Man's just
he's over the top of that one.
Over the top.
I love when he goes out, he's like, "Show me your wet ass," and then she just punches him.
Oh, man. Starla would not be happy with him. All right, moving on to Season 2. This one was very interesting. We have nothing in the F tier because, honestly, I don't think anything was quite as bad as to be an F tier, but definitely some videos with issues, but which we'll get into. So right at the bottom, we have the D tier. We have CJ's OnlyFans. I honestly it was really difficult to figure out where they rank in this thing, but I think our D or our lowest is going to be CJ's OnlyFans.
There's one reason we put that in the D tier, and it's because
it was kind of made like
it was a cry for help.
It was kind of we were doing kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say bad.
We'll get into it. I think here's the reason. We weren't bad, but like
we had a dip. We'll talk
about some of these parodies. We came up with the Crime Saga.
Yeah,
and we like basically poured our heart into this storyline,
and it kind of didn't work. It just fell off.
So then we were just like, "Fuck it, OnlyFans." Like we wanted views.
We tried to do something that worked, and then I'm just gonna tell you guys right now: if you see another OnlyFans video again, I would unsubscribe if you see another one, because I just don't think it's in the cards for us anymore. I think it's done. I think that the horse has been beaten. I think what we're doing now is better, but let's move on from that. There were some good things in that video. I don't think it's really a bad video. I just think where the place that it was funny. The clouds joke was funny. I just think where it came from wasn't. It was best.
It's more of a personal.
It's a vendetta against that video.
It's dark for us.
Yeah.
I can just tell when I'm watching it that you guys aren't enjoying
miserable. We were miserable.
That was not
the months from March to like early June, like we were miserable.
It was just kind of.
It was so bad.
Yeah. It was All right, let's look at a little bit more positive. We have the C tier. First, we have skips in Vietnam. I don't think there's anything wrong with this video. It's just kind of the main issue is it's too short. That is the main problem, and I think personally, whenever our videos are like highly reliant on like references,
it
hurts so bad. Like that's why I know that's definitely why it hurts Skipsenberg. But
like you had to watch
this video
Forrest Gump to get
any of it, and then like I know this was also based on a lot of comments saying like skips in different
war crimes and stuff.
So we're like, oh, this is it, but obviously not quite.
I'll tell you, that parody also had a gimmick because we did record Fortunate Son.
In order to get that song, we had JP record for the first time a song, which we want to do a lot in the future. Anytime we have the opportunity, we're going to. One of us get us music.
We all love music.
It's really cool. I think it's something really cool because it narrowly avoids the copyright thing. So if we can get around it, I don't mind. So then next we have Benson Goes to Jail, which I think this one literally, it happened as a bridge, and that's it.
Yeah, that comes down to the crime saga. It literally was there is to transition to the one that happens after.
Yeah, it wasn't really, because for some reason it's just a story. We've learned the storyline thing doesn't.
It just didn't work.
If it's 2 episodes, maybe, but I think like a whole arc is like ridiculous.
Yeah. It was like 5. Like most of season 2 is the crime saga.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because that's why I barely even remember the first. Season 2 is basically there's a 2A and a 2B.
Yeah,
like
2A is like
2A is the crime saga and whatever was first. I think it was Eileen's OnlyFans, which we'll get to next, and then 2B is what we're calling the Attitude Era, which has all our basically when we started swearing more. And where I think we are happiest with our videos because they're so ridiculous now that, But
we just got so much, our pacing got better, like...
I think it just shows how we're growing as a channel. Like, every channel you'll notice stuff like this, but I think it really shows where we were in our channel. Maybe like a midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it. So then next we have Eileen's OnlyFans, which... Another OnlyFans video.
It's the second most viewed in the OnlyFans saga.
That is... kind of crazy.
It's like 80,000 right
That one didn't really. I know a lot of people. That was Dawn's first appearance.
Yeah, Dawn.
That is another fan favorite, which Cook voices, who is here with us right now. Everybody loves Dawn. He's just such a wholesome character. I think that was the main purpose of that video was to get, and that's also why it's a little bit in the middle or higher is because just Dawn as a character was that was the gimmick of that was to get Dawn in, which I don't think there's anything. I think there's nothing wrong with the video. I just think again,
I do like
the OnlyFans thing again, really, But all right, on to B tier.
B tier.
This is an interesting one.
It caused a little bit of controversy.
Rigby gets laid. Which I know some people thought it was clickbaity, which I'm gonna have to. Well, he gets laid down on the ground and beaten to death by Benson. One of the comments that we saw, and I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. That was hilarious. If you want to say it's clickbait, you can say whatever you want. But
I like.
He tried to. The parody is. I think it's solid.
I like the storyline. It's solid parody. We were kind of. Because we were done. I think we were done with OnlyFans at this point. We were like, well, what else can we do with these? We were like, well, what if we had him on like Tinder or something?
Yeah.
And then he finds Benson's ex-girlfriend, Audrey or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And then he dates her, and Benson just flips out and beats him up. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
I think the whole thing with Rigby, like making his picture Dawn and pretending he's him.
I think that's very Rigby. Oh, yeah. That's very Rigby.
That would definitely happen.
I think he would do that.
Yeah.
All right, then next we have another. I think this might be another personal for us is Muscle Man's Uncle John, which was kind of an experiment.
Yeah.
Because we tried with this crime saga to introduce a character that's like an original character, which was drawn by JP, and we wanted to take someone that existed but you never saw him because Muscle Man always made jokes about his Uncle John, but you never got to see him.
We made the joke one time where we said my Uncle Johnny's a mechanic, and people loved it. Like,
they thought it was so funny. So we're like, wow,
let's give him
let's give him a personality, and I think it worked, kind of, and then to an extent it worked. So I think his Uncle John was I really like him as a character.
He's very funny.
I think he's
like
funny.
This Italian mobster, and then he's like, they rob a bank and then they go to jail with Benson.
Yeah.
So it's a funny parody. I did like Uncle John. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
All right, A tier. First, I just want to say, for the record right now, this is our most underrated parody and probably one of our most ambitious parodies, in my opinion, is the Red versus Blue parody. Mm-hmm. Now, why it's underrated? Maybe because it's Halo, because I know a lot of you guys seem to like Call of Duty more than Halo. Maybe with Halo Infinite coming out, you guys should try that. Maybe see if you would be interested in something like that. But I think this video, we tried to make it as accurate to Red versus Blue as possible, which I feel like we did.
Yeah.
And we had all the characters in Halo. It was so fun to make. It was so fun to edit. And I just think
it was like all of us. I think Job and Cody were on call.
Yeah, we were all playing, and we were all trying to orchestrate it together.
We literally mapped out how we were gonna do it, who was gonna talk, and then we recorded it, and then Bub spliced it together. That was super fun to make. This is a strategy that we're gonna put into our most recent ones. But I love that video, but it also comes down to the pop culture references. There were a couple people in the comments that were like, "Oh, the mic quality is really bad on this one."
Yeah,
if you watch Red versus Blue, you know that's what it sounds like. So they didn't.
That was against it. That was kind of against it.
Yeah,
so that was kind of.
That was kind of that was on purpose.
But I really love that video.
I really do too.
Yeah, I love how it turned out.
Next one we have Benson's stimulus check, which.
Everybody in the park got their stimulus checks except for Morgan.
Yeah, or it was like shit.
Yeah, and Benson was like, "I'm not giving you the stimulus check," and then all their shit just went.
It went to shit. It was very regular show. A random vortex opens with no explanation.
And it has one of my favorite moments where Muscle Man just "Oh no!" It just stops. She's like, "Oh no, bro!" And then it resumes. I don't know why. I think that's I think it's funny.
And then you can't forget at the end when Benson does give them their stimulus checks, and
it's 62 cents. And he's
that was funny.
Fuck, and then just punches him.
I love that one.
Funny. And then I guess that's the sequel to it is the next one in our A tier. We have Benson's tax fraud.
This kind of started the crime saga, didn't it? Was this the first one, or was it?
No, I guess it was the tax fraud one, because this was when the police were called because...
Yeah.
That's also where we technically debuted Uncle John.
Uncle John, yeah, but he sounded like Uncle Lester with a voice modulator. Because this was right before... I think this was right before we thought, oh, we should make... him an actual
I think literally what happened was he committed tax fraud and then the police showed up.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It wasn't Maylard in that?
Yeah. Maylard was
we introduced Maylard.
Yeah, Maylard.
And then he was like, "Why haven't these nice boys received their stimulus checks or some shit?" We thought that was funny.
Yeah.
That was another very regular show.
It was,
esque. It went from 0 to 100 and then it's solved by some outside
miracle.
Force. Yeah. That one was funny.
Can I just say, I think it's funny that, this whole crime saga started right around when we were all playing GTA like crazy.
That is true.
There might have been the inspiration. It might have been.
No, playing all the heists, that just made us...
In the Uncle John debut, he talks about he's like, we have to do setups for this heist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were literally playing... We were playing a lot of Halo and a lot of Grand Theft Auto, so there we go.
I'm sure it shows, just because...
That was so funny, though.
Yeah. All right, so next parody we have in the A tier, we have the Mordecai and Rigby Get High. That was a title for a video, if I say so myself. We're putting in the A tier, and for this video, they get drugs from Party Pete, and it's a Minecraft cube. They go to Minecraft, they fight Herobrine, and then they get back. That's basically the video. And for this, only this one, we have Ryu Dragoon here also to help us rate this one.
Dude, I love Minecraft.
We basically did this as an excuse to get these boys in Minecraft. That was our excuse.
So it's interesting that we have our finale. Normally we seem to think our finale was a top tier, but we put this finale as an A tier. Why do you guys think that?
I mean... I don't think there's really anything too problematic with it. I just think maybe there isn't, because of the topic. Well, the fact they went to Minecraft maybe lost a little bit of edge. Or,
Yeah, it wasn't as edgy as the other one. It was still good, and it was still fun to do, but there is that, with the whole DS attitude thing, that it just wasn't attitude. It felt more like a early season 2 parody where we were doing Red versus it. And it's not that it's bad, but it's the attitude is just where it's at, man.
The title was all the attitude.
We will be talking about attitude parodies in this next tier.
Yeah, because the next tier is the best tier, the S tier.
Cody, do you have any opinions on this one?
I definitely agree that it didn't feel quite as much like a DS attitude type video as your other recent ones, like Mordecai gets an STD and like Mordecai, and like it was really good, but like there was just like I don't know, there was just something about it like that just didn't quite feel S tier for me.
It's one of those
like the recent ones. I don't know, it wasn't like quite on the same level as the most recent he did.
It's more story based than attitude.
Yeah, I'd say it's almost,
which is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, it's almost like when you tried to go more like in the story route. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not that it isn't good, but it's almost like you have to just have it be some like random thing. It can't really be like story based.
My biggest problem with it is that I think Herobrine tanks all of them. I think it's just that easy.
But he's fighting Pops. Pops is...
Yeah.
I forget his name, but Pops.
Yeah, but Pops is a notch level.
It's actually
Pops is a god. He's a literal god.
Plus you don't even...
Two gods fought.
You don't even use a Diamond Hoe to defeat Herobrine. You use a normal stick. It's simple mind.
Yeah, but you just gotta keep the hose on standby. That literally was just for that joke. The reason they used a Diamond Hoe was literally just to make that joke. That is it. There's no other reason other than it's funny.
I'm just saying, it doesn't fit into Minecraft lore.
Well, maybe Herobrine will return. You never know. He could just run in the background again.
And also, can I just say, there's one very, very, very minor gripe that I have with this video that's like, it's almost too stupid to mention, but I feel like I should mention it. Ryu, Dragoon, and I like just watched the video again not too long ago, and there's one line that bothers me, not in the way, not for the reason you might think. The line that says,
"What the H does that block do to ourselves?"
That's just not proper English.
I didn't even
What the H does that block do to ourselves?
I'm just saying, that's just a minor gripe.
A bunch of animals went to Minecraft, and you're questioning proper English.
Not grammatically correct.
That's pretty okay. All right.
minor grapes though.
I think it's time to move on to the. I think it's time to move on to the next tier. That's something. Next tier.
S tier.
All right. Not to jerk ourselves off. Three of these are our most recent videos, other than Skips in Vietnam.
All attitude.
They're all attitude eras, which, not to toot my own horn, I like these probably. I think if you combine both of these, I think these are the top, because I think they are so regular showy, and they are just so ridiculous. And then I'm glad that we were able to have these for you guys, because it seems like you guys are really enjoying these parodies, because you don't know what to expect. So anyway, to get into S tier, first video. Mordecai. We had to hop on the bandwagon.
Everywhere.
We got copyright claimed by the freaking Paramore or whatever, which it was worth it.
Paramore.
I thought they were gonna get us for the bird and the horse doing stuff, but no, they got us for the music.
Sick.
This is the same level as Muscle Man Gets Wasted, but it's like
also Cook covered the piano.
Oh yes, he did.
He's a very good piano
I'm gonna be honest. I think they copyright claimed us because of how good it sounded. It sounded almost exactly like it. It was crazy. Like the other one, we styled it like a little bit more rocky, but this one, it was literally sounded like what it was supposed to.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I was surprised that they like still claimed it. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like,
it was definitely the vocals what they got us for. They were probably hunting people down because this thing was a meme.
We did it. It was on top of the world. Everywhere you went, it was a Mordecai meme.
Mordecai stuff was. It was like we have to do it.
Dirtiest parody.
We have to do it,
and we delivered. I'll tell you.
I gotta say, guys, like this might be a bold statement, but like. Mordecai might be my favorite DS parody.
That's Cook's favorite.
It is. He died.
It is so.
When you were in the room when we were recording this, you were freaking dying.
It's just so goddamn ridiculous. And like when I first watched this, like I laughed so hard that like I was just drenched in tears.
There's so many funny moments.
It is just I don't know, like not even just the titular like moment where that happens.
Yeah,
like the stuff,
the stuff.
Just like all of the comedic timing and all of the writing and everything, I just thought was so on point, and like literally the fact that they swear enhances it so much.
It's something we realized with the Attitude Era that we're calling it. I think the swearing.
The swear makes it funny.
It makes it so much funnier because I think that was another issue with the crime saga is they were kind of soft.
We were scared.
Yeah,
I think
it
we
was
were scared
kind
at
of
the
weird.
time.
They were a little
we didn't want to
we
get
were.
demonetized.
Yeah.
But then we were just like, fuck it, let's just swear.
And we kind of realized that actually the system's a little bit better now. I think people make this might be just me saying this, but I think the demonetization system isn't really as bad as people. I think you can make videos as raunchy as you want as long as you don't literally show nudity.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to get us for? A PNG of a bird and a PNG of a horse. It's like putting toys together. It's not going to do anything. They can't get us for that.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's
so good. And then he's jerking off into a jar. Like, that just ends it so... Like, it was all in his head. Like, I just love that.
Yeah.
Like, he just got so crazy.
Yeah, everything in that video, dude, just... it was so, like, perfect.
All right, next. This is my favorite, I think. Pops swears.
Oh, yeah.
When we were doing the crime saga, we said we're going to do Pop swears and skips in Vietnam. And that was probably that, like, we were at the point where we didn't want to do it anymore, honestly. They did well. Pop swears did very well. And I honestly think that regurgitated I don't think that's the right word. Revitalized our energy to do this because this video is so funny in my opinion.
It was the first parody under the Attitude.
Yep.
It was,
that was the first Attitude parody.
That was the rebirth of the DS Attitude.
I think the DS got rebirthed. It was revitalized. I think now we're in a place where we're happy. We are 100% happy with what we're making.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because literally all it is Pop's this wholesome guy and he starts swearing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I just think it was really funny because then to cancel it, they just censor him. And then later in a different parody, they censor him and he can't swear. Just him swearing. I just think it worked really well because, again, he's doing that. He's not supposed to. It's funny.
Yeah.
Next, we have for the S tier, again, another Attitude video. Mordecai gets an STD, which, man, that's a title and a half, if I say.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is one of our friends, Ski, which we haven't gotten to have him as a voice yet, but we want to have him in one of our videos. This was his idea for a video, and then we just kind of turned it into his own thing.
Yep.
Man, I didn't see a single comment from you guys about what his PP monster was, and it made me sad. Because you guys were all talking about the Left 4 Dead music and the Chris Chan thing at the end, which I appreciated.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was really funny.
But no one mentioned that freaking, what is that thing called?
The
Staggering beauty of his, oh man.
The Mordecock. It was a DS
Mordecock, an original. I would have called the video that if we were able to, but I don't think YouTube would have let us.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that now everybody's talking about, oh my god, the Mordecock.
I love that he was like bragging about losing. Or whatever I can't remember what he said, but he was bragging about it. I got bumps.
Oh yeah, I got bumps, and he's like, "What?
Oh shit!"
Yeah, I love
very regular showy.
I love he's like,
down.
I got laid before you, Benson. Suck it.
Yeah, that's a great line.
I also like where Benson's like, "Oh, Pops, don't suck that." And he's like,
Oh, yeah.
"No, Pop need a good suck." That's just disgusting.
Yeah, it's so vile. I love it.
It was funny.
It was really funny. Again, more S tier. Where I guess we're gonna put we'll put Starla gets pregnant also in the S tier. I just think
this was another interesting the way we paced it.
Yeah, this is a very interesting one because it was, Starla was messing around a little bit too much, and then they go on a Jerry Springer Maury show with Dawn
Springer,
another Dawn appearance. Everybody likes Dawn, and
it just literally turns.
It just worked. I think it just worked. It literally turns into Jerry Springer. And also, we got to reference that Pops isn't allowed to swear, but when he swears on live TV, they bleep him.
Yeah.
So that's where he was allowed to swear. And then we had us at the very end, me and JP at the end, and I just thought that was funny.
We were watching them on Dawn Springer.
That was very
unexpected.
I like that.
All right, so for now, that's the Season 1, Season 2 tier list of DS. We have a lot in store for Season 3. I honestly can't wait when we get to it in probably mid to late September. That's where we're hoping we can get to it because, of course, our schedules are going to be a lot different. Make sure you watch the update video if you haven't because we're going to talk a lot about... we talked a lot about how we're going to do all that. So catch you guys in the next one. If you want to see another tier list of have us reflect our thoughts, maybe get a bit of lore of how we were making these videos, just let us know in the comments. See you in the next video where it's double or nothing.
Double or nothing!
Woo!